You are welcome to the lesson once again. I'm teacher Katimbo Richard, teaching mathematics. Today, once again, I've come with a topic called algebra, which we started 2 sessions ago, or before this one. You know, algebra is wide, therefore I urge you follow strictly. For what I've brought today will never leave you the same. Today we are continuing with algebraic equation formation. That is where many of you find a lot of problems. Today's number 1, or example number 1, reads, Esther has 2 children, a son and a daughter. If the son is half her age, the daughter is a third her age, and the total age of the children is 30 years, find Esther's age. I'll read again. Esther has 2 children, a son and a daughter. If the son is half her age, the daughter is a third her age, and the total age of the children is 30 years, find Esther's age. Today, we shall not avoid fractions. We are going to deal with a situation where fractions are left as they are to see how one deals with fractional equations. Now that Esther is the mother to these 2 children, a son and a daughter, we say let Esther's age be M, such that when Esther is M years old, the son being half her age, the son is a half M years old, and the daughter being a third her age, the daughter is a third M years old. The statement continues to say, the total age of the children is 30 years. What are we learning from here? Know whose total age is 30 years. It is the children. Remember, Esther is the mother, and therefore the mother cannot be a child. So what we are learning from this is that we shall not total up whatever is here. We are looking out for the children only, that's the son and the daughter, to total up to 30. Hence, leave the M alone, for it is the age of the mother who is said to be Esther, add the son's age and the daughter's ages in terms of M to 30, then form that a half M plus a third M equals 30. Please add the children's ages to 30. Leave the mother alone. Thus we've got a half M plus a third M is equal to 30. Now first with an equation like this we have formed, this is the way we deal with it. The first thing is to look at the denominators, that is 3 and 2, or 2 and 3. As well as 1. You know any whole number that is, anything that's a whole number written as a fraction that is out of 1. So this 30 is out of 1. So find the LCM of 2, 3, and 1. Which LCM is 6. Again, ask yourself how many parties this equation involves. You will count the parties in this regard. You say this is a party, this is a sign, a party, a sign, a party. So the parties are 3. So distribute this LCM 6 among the three parties. So multiply a half m by 6, a third m by 6, as well as 30. What's the use of LCM? It is there to eliminate the denominators, that is the 2 and 3. So it's doing its duty through multiplication. We say 6 times a half m plus 6 times a third m equals 6 times 30. Do the elimination service rendered by the LCM. We say by 2, that's 2 divided by 2 once, 6 divided by 2 is the 3, 3 divided by 3 once, then 6 divided by 3 is a 2. Then the denominators have been made once, so they are gone. I've got 3 times m, which is 3m, 2 times m, which is 2m, which is equal to 180. Now, these are like terms already. 3m plus 2m, you get 5m, which is equal to 180. Then divide the other side by 5. 5m divided by 5 equals 180 divided by 5. 5 by 5 is ones. And 5m divided by 5 is m. Then 5 by 5 is a 1. 18 divided by 5 is a 3. Remainder 3. Now 30. 30 divided by 5, you get a 6. Hence m equals 36. Then the main question must be answered through substitution, which reads, find Esther's age. Go back to the formation of Esther in terms of m, and here we are. Esther is m years old. You say Esther's age. In a bit to answer the question, transfer the other m here, it's m years, which m is 36. Therefore, Esther is 36 years old. You must go to another number, that is after proving, to see if what the total given rhymes to the total age of the children. Now that m is 36, you can check. If the sons are half m, that means a half times m. A half times 36, you get 18. Then check the daughter in terms of m, the third m, that's a third times m. A third times 36, you get 12. Check whether 18 years plus 12 years is actually 30, which is actually correct. So the total age of the children only is 30 years. Hence, we have proved because the total age rhymes with 30 years as total for the children. That's how that number is worked out. We shall go to number 2. Example number 2 today reads, Betty bought 3 books at 2y plus 200 shillings each, and 2 pens at y plus 200 shillings each. If she spent 500 shillings altogether, find the amount of money she spent on books. It reads again, Betty bought 3 books at 2y plus 200 shillings each, and 2 pens at y plus 200 shillings each. If she spent 500 shillings altogether, find the amount of money she spent on books. In dealing with this number, care about the word each and the number of books or pens that were actually bought by this Betty. The fact being that Betty bought 3 books at 2y plus 200 shillings each, meaning the cost of books will be got by multiplying the cost of each by 3. So we say that is 3 into 2y plus 200 shillings. That's the total cost of all the books. Remember, each book cost this Betty 2y plus 200 shillings. So the 3 cost her 3 into 2y plus 200 shillings. And the fact being that Betty bought 2 pens at y plus 200 shillings each, get the cost of all the pens by multiplying. That is 2 into y plus 200 shillings. That's the cost of the 2 books. Remember, into means times. So 2 into y plus 200 is the same as 2 times y plus 200. So we shortly write 2 into, or simply write 2 into y plus 200 shillings. So the cost of 3 books plus the cost of 2 pens gives rise to a total given as 5,000 shillings. So thereby forming an equation of algebra which we are going to work out for and find the value of y. So we form the equation by addition of the 2 costs, that is that of books plus that of pens. You say 3 into 2y plus 200 plus, repeat, 3 into 2y plus 200 plus 2 into y plus 200, all are in shillings, equals 5,000 shillings. And the fact being that we have got shillings either side, we can eliminate shillings. Divide either side by shillings, that is out of shillings. You cancel shillings off this side and shillings off that side, and then open the brackets. We open the brackets by multiplying the outside by the content of the brackets. So I've got 3 times y, which is 6y, and 3 times 200, which is 600. Then plus 2 times y, which is 2y, plus 2 times 200, which is 400, which is equaling to 5,000. So after opening the brackets, I've got 6y plus 600 plus 2y plus 400, which is equal to 5,000. Gather the y's together, that's collection of like terms, and those without y. So we say 6y plus 2y plus 600 plus 400 equals 5,000. That step. Now simplify the like terms collected. 6y plus 2y get 8y, and 600 plus 400 you get 1,000. Hence I've got 8y plus 1,000 equals 5,000. Let's take the positive 1,000 on the other side to become a negative. Hence you're going to subtract 1,000 from either side. We've got 8y plus 1,000 minus 1,000 is equal to 5,000 minus 1,000. 1,000 minus 1,000 is 0. We've got 8y, which is equal to the difference between 5,000 and 1,000, which is 4,000. Then divide either side by 8. That's 8y divided by 8 equals 4,000 divided by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 8y divided by 8 is a y. 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 40 alone divided by 8 is a 5. And then the 2 zeros to get y as 500. Then you go to the main question to answer through substitution, which main question reads, find the amount of money she spent on books. The heading for books is here. So all the 3 books were bought at 3 into 2y plus 200 shillings. That is in terms of y. So you put the heading to respond to a question by saying the expense or expenditure on books. That is 3 into 2y plus 200 shillings. Now open the bracket. 3 times 2y is 6y. 3 times 200 is 600. And now expand 6y, which is 6 times y, then plus 600, which y we got as 500, and next it here through substitution. Therefore you say 6 times 500 plus 600, which 6 times 500 is 3,000 plus 600 or shillings, which is equal to 3,600 shillings. So all the 3 books were bought at 3,600 shillings. That's how number 2 is also dealt with. These numbers are quite lengthy, but you will bear with me because it's a must. You must know how they are dealt with, and when it is simplified, you will never face simple numbers because you know these that are a bit complex. Number 3 today reads, a pumpkin costs 400 shillings more than an apple, and the cost of an apple is 2/3 that of a mango. If their total cost is 3,900 shillings, find the cost of each of them. A pumpkin costs 400 shillings more than an apple, and the cost of an apple is 2/3 that of a mango. If their total cost is 3,900 shillings, find the cost of each of them. Now, look at the first statement and see the first comparison to determine which of the two items is cheaper. That is between a pumpkin and an apple. The first statement reads, a pumpkin costs 400 shillings more than an apple. It means an apple costs 400 shillings less than a pumpkin. So the one that's less costly is actually an apple. For an apple costs 400 shillings less than a pumpkin. That's why we actually propose the apple's cost by saying, let the cost of an apple be K, such that when an apple costs K shillings, a pumpkin costs K plus 400 shillings. Why do you add? Because a pumpkin is actually more expensive compared to an apple by 400 shillings. So if an apple costs K shillings, then a pumpkin costs K plus 400 shillings. Then you go to another statement. You know, and in English is a conjunction, so it brings two statements together. So it's bringing another statement. That's why I say, and the cost of an apple is 2/3 that of a mango. Now that we need the cost of a mango, and it's not the subject here, you need to interchange the subject to understand the meaning. And the cost of an apple is 2/3 that of a mango. Here, it brings in an element of opposite. Opposite in mathematics is called reciprocal. So when we say opposite in English, in mathematics we term it as reciprocal. So what's reciprocal? Reciprocal is the same as mathematical inverse. So what is the reverse, or the inverse, or the opposite, or the reciprocal of 2/3? I'm seeing hands up. Okay. Muhammad? Good. It is 3 halves, 3 out of 2. So the reverse, the opposite of 2/3 is 3 halves. Such that when an apple is, or the cost of an apple is 2/3 that of a mango, it means that a mango, or the cost of a mango, is 3 halves that of an apple. So that if an apple is K, then the mango is 3 halves. That's 3 out of 2 K shillings. Which 3 out of 2 means 1.5. So a mango costs 1.5 K shillings. Now, if the total cost of all the items here is 3,900 shillings, this time round you are going to add everything here. Remember not to repeat that of a mango. This is the same as this, which last outcome is going to be inclusive here. So we say K plus 400 plus 1.5 K shillings, they are all in shillings, equals 3,900 shillings. You divide both sides by shillings, cancel shillings, cancel shillings, cancel shillings, cancel shillings. Then you collect the K's together. You say K plus 1.5 K plus 400 equals 3,900. This is the step of collection of like terms. Then simplify them. 1, 2, 3, full K. So I've got 3.5 K. 3.5 K plus 400 equals 3,900. Let 400 go as usual. That is, we are doing the opposite of it. Being a positive is going to be a negative either side. That is 1.5 K plus 400 minus 400 is equal to 3,900 minus 400. Here we are remaining with 3.5 K equals the difference between 3,900 and 400, which is 3,500. So if 3.5 K are equal to 3,500, we are going to convert this mixed fraction to an improper fraction by getting a denominator times whole number plus numerator out of denominator. That is, 3 times 2 is a 6 plus 1, 7 out of 2K. which is equal to 3,500. LCM of 2 and 1, remember this out of 1 is actually 2. We say party sign party, there are 2 parties. So we distribute this 2 between the 2 parties of 7 out of 2k and 3,500. So multiply, we say 2 times 7 out of 2k equals 2 times 3,500. So cancel by 2 once, by 2 once to get 7k equals twice 3,500. You are advised not to multiply this, leave it like that for this element of division later to be easier to divide before multiplication than when one actually multiplied. So go 7k divided by 7 equals 2 times 3,500 out of 7, or divide by 7. By 7 once, by 7k. And now 7 divided by 7 once, 35 divided by 7 is the 5, and then 2 zeros are next up, and thereby remaining with twice 500, which is equivalent to 1,000. So the value of k is 1,000. Remember not to get tired before you reach the final answer. The question reads, find the cost of each of these items. Remember the items are 3, that's apple, pumpkin, and mango. So they want the cost of each of those 3 items. Go to the substitutory kind of step by getting the equivalent of these in terms of k. That's like an apple costs k shillings. Bring it up or take it up or bring down, because you'll be writing on paper. Cost an apple is k shillings, which k is 1,000. So the apple or an apple costs 1,000 shillings. Then go back to pumpkin. The pumpkin costs k plus 400 shillings. We say cost of a pumpkin is k plus 400 shillings, and then substitute 1,000 k plus 400, which is equal to 1,400 shillings. Actually, a pumpkin costs 1,400 shillings. Then cost of a mango is 3 halves k, 3 out of 2k. So bring it here. That is 3 out of 2k, which means 3 out of 2, or 3 halves times k shillings, which k is 1,000. Replace it or put it away or substitute it with 1,000, and then cancel by 2 once, by 2, 5 and 2 zeros. Thrice 500 brings 1,500 shillings. So as an apple costs 1,000 shillings, pumpkin costs 1,400 shillings, then a mango costs 1,500 shillings. If you want to prove through addition, you can add the cost of the 3 items altogether are dictated to be 3,900 shillings. So we add 1,000 to 1,400 shillings. That's 2,400 shillings, as well as 1,500 shillings to the 2,400 shillings I've got. The total cost is actually 3,900 shillings. Then you will know you have actually answered the question. Another proof is the cost of an apple is 2/3 that of a mango. You can check. An apple is 2/3 that of a mango. So look at the cost, which is 1,000. Write it out of the cost of a mango, which is 1,500. Reduce and see by 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. Divide 10 and 15. Actually, common divisor is 5. By 5, you get 2. And here, you get 3. It's actual and actually evidenced by that kind of proof. And evident now that actually the cost of an apple is 2/3 that of a mango. Then you will know you have answered the question successfully. We shall then go to example number 4, which concludes our examples today, and that number reads, when marking a test of 20 questions, teacher Katimbo awarded 5 marks for every correct answer and deducted 2 marks for every wrong answer. When marking a test of 20 questions, teacher Katimbo awarded 5 marks for every correct answer and deducted 2 marks for every wrong answer. If Sydney scored 65 marks from that test, how many questions did she fail? When you look at it, you can hardly tell it's algebraic, but indeed it's algebraic. You are going to start like, let the number of correct answers be y. Remember, this test contained 20 questions. If the number of correct answers is y, then the number of wrong questions, let the number of correct answers be y. You say, if the number of correct answers is y, then the number of wrong answers is 20 minus y, because the whole test is was of 20 questions. If the wrong answers is y, and then the number of wrong answers will be 20 minus what? Y. Now, this teacher Katimbo awarded 5 marks for every correct answer. And now that we have formed the number of correct answers to be y, then we shall get the marks gained from the correct answers. Each of them was awarded 5 marks. That's 5 times y marks were obtained from all the correct answers that are y in number, thereby getting 5 y marks in total. As if that's not all, this teacher Katimbo hates one that fails. He penalizes one by deducting 2 marks for every wrong answer. So one is penalized 2 marks for every wrong answer. Now that the wrong answers are 20 minus y, so the marks deducted for those 20 minus y questions that were wrong, so get the marks deducted for the wrong answers. That's 2 marks for each of them. So you say 2 into, remember into means times, 2 into 20 minus y marks. So what do they do, or what do we do then to form the equation? You get the marks somebody gained from the correct answers minus the marks somebody lost, or somebody was deducted from. That is 2 into 20 minus y. So you get a 5y minus 2 into 20 minus y, giving rise to what Sydney scored at last. That is the final score from this test by Sydney, which is 65 marks. Then we are going to open the brackets through multiplying. Here the open as the negative. Remember, wherever we open the brackets using a negative, all signs must change. The 20 being a positive is going to change to a negative, and this y being a negative is going to change to a positive. So we've got 5y annexed here, then we start opening through multiplication. Negative 2 times 20 is negative 40. Then negative 2 times negative y is a positive 2y, which is equal to 65. Hence, when the brackets go, we've got a statement that reads 5y minus 40 plus 2y equals 65. Then gather like terms, this remains a plus. Hence, we've got 5y plus 2y minus 40 equals 65. 5y plus 2y gets 7y now minus 40 equals 65. Then this being a negative, that's a 40, it's going to be added to either side. So having a statement like 7y minus 40 plus 40 is equal to 65 plus 40. And now, whenever I've got a minus leading a plus, you interchange to begin with a plus by virtue of body mass. So the next step reads after interchange, that is 7y plus 40 minus 40 equals 105, which is from the 65 and 40 added. Now, this is 40 minus 40 is 0. This side I've got 7y, which is equal to 105. So divide that side by 7, that is 7y divided by 7 equals 105 divided by 7. By 7 once, by 7 you get y. 7 divided by 7 is once. And 10 divided by 7 is 1, remainder 3. 35 divided by 7 you get 5. So y equals 15. And the main question was reading, how many questions did she fail? So they're actually asking for the wrong answers. We formed here against wrong answers that it is 20 minus y. That's why the heading reads number of questions she failed. Number of questions this Sydney failed is 20 minus y, which y is 15. That's 20 minus 15 questions. She failed 5 questions. You will prove if you actually need to prove and see what Teacher Katimbo was doing. This Teacher Katimbo awarded 5 marks for every correct answer. We found out that the correct answers are y, which y is 15. So 15 times 5, this person, before any deduction was made, this actually Sydney would get 75. That is 5 times 15 is 75. But there's a penalty of 2 marks for every wrong answer. And the wrong answers or wrong questions were actually 5. So 5 times 2 is a 10. So 10 marks are going to be deducted from the 75 she would score. That's 75 minus the 10. Then actually Sydney finally got 65 marks. That is what one must do. You don't just take off as if one is actually having a race against you. So therefore, learn this classic algebra actually coming to you courtesy of Train Up a Child Schools. Thank you for following. If you need to talk to Teacher Katimbo, call him on 0776 251655. I repeat, 0776 251655. This is Teacher Katimbo that has taught you today this algebra. Please stay safe.